Britain, we've been robbed. Again. Not of money this time, but of imagination. Rachel Reeves, Labour's so-called Iron Chancellor, has stepped up to the podium and announced her big plan for Britain's youth. And what is it? A brand new shiny vision? No. It's a reboot, a rerun, the austerity box set nobody asked for. She wants to strip benefits from 18 to 21-year-olds who refuse job placements. They're calling it the Youth Guarantee. But let's be real, the only thing guaranteed is déjà vu. Because this policy, it's been tried, tested and trashed before. Here's how Reeves's plan works. If you're 18 to 21, out of work for 18 months, you'll be offered a paid work placement. But if you reject it, if you say, nah, that's exploitation, or this doesn't cover my travel costs, or I've got caring responsibilities, well, tough luck. Your benefits vanish. This is punishment dressed as opportunity. It's not a ladder, it's a trapdoor, and Reeves thinks this will make her look strong, decisive, responsible, but what it actually makes her look like is lazy enough to recycle the exact same schemes we already know don't work. Let's rewind the tape. Blair's New Deal for young people, 1998, billions pumped in, mandatory schemes, sanctions if you refused. What happened? The National Audit Office found half the participants were back on benefits within a year. Revolving doors, not careers. The Work Programme, 2011, Tory flagship, supposed to be revolutionary. By 2012, the Public Accounts Committee reported it got just 3.6% of claimants into sustained work, below even the Department for Work and Pensions target of 5.5%. MPs literally said it was worse than doing nothing. Universal credit sanctions. Cameron, May, Johnson, Sunak all loved the stick more than the carrot. But the Department for Work and Pensions' own reviews showed sanctions reduced the chances of people staying in work long term. The Joseph Rowntree Foundation called sanctions a driver of destitution, not employment. And now Reeves wants to drag this zombie policy out of the grave and rebrand it as progress. Sis, no. 1. It's exclusionary. Only 18 to 21-year-olds unemployed for 18 months qualify. That's a tiny fraction of struggling young people. If you're 22, if you're a carer, if you're sick, you're ignored. 2. The placements will be trash. No promise of high-skill apprenticeships, no career paths, just paid placements, which usually means shelf-stacking, menial admin, or unpaid corporate busywork subsidised by the taxpayer. Refuse, benefits gone. 3. Sanctions don't work. The Resolution Foundation, after years of study, said sanctions have at best modest impacts on employment, but significant negative effects on well-being. Translation: cruelty, not results. 4. Structural barriers are the real problem. Young people face housing costs that devour wages, transport poverty that makes jobs unreachable, a mental health crisis with no support, 0-hour contracts that pay peanuts. Sanctions won't fix a broken economy. 5. It's political cosplay. This isn't about solving unemployment. It's about Reeves playing tough for the cameras. It's austerity with lipstick. And here's where it gets spicy, because Rachel Reeves didn't stumble into this by accident. She has form. Back in 2013, Reeves bragged that Labour would be tougher than the Tories on welfare. Yes, you heard that right. A Labour MP out-Torying the Tories. She praised George Osborne's austerity framework, calling it credible, even while food banks exploded and homelessness soared. She literally said she'd keep to Tory spending limits if Labour got into power. That's not boldness, that's obedience. When universal credit sanctions were wrecking lives, Reeves defended conditionality. She stood in the Commons talking about the importance of incentives, while charities screamed that sanctions were driving people into destitution. And now she's wheeling out the same failed blueprint and slapping a new label on it, the Youth Guarantee. But we know what this is. It's Reeves, once again, cosplaying as the Iron Chancellor by hammering the poorest. Here's what a real Youth Guarantee would look like. Invest in apprenticeships that actually lead to careers, not shelf stacking. Build housing so young people aren't handing half their wages to landlords. Fund transport so jobs are physically accessible. Provide mental health support so people can stay in work. Raise the minimum wage so full-time work equals dignity, not debt. That's what opportunity looks like. That's what vision looks like, not sanctions, not reheated failure. So let's be clear, this youth guarantee is not a guarantee of work, it's not a guarantee of hope, it's a guarantee of failure. Rachel Reeves wants history to remember her as Britain's first female Chancellor, but if she keeps recycling Tory hand-me-downs, history won't remember her as a trailblazer, it'll remember her as a reboot artist, a cover band of bad ideas, because rebooting failure doesn't make it success. It just makes it failure with a new logo. Britain's young people deserve ambition. They deserve opportunity. They deserve dignity. And until Westminster delivers that, all Reeves has guaranteed is another generation failed by politics. Rachel Reeves, if you want to guarantee something, guarantee that you'll stop recycling bad Tory cosplay. Guarantee that you'll stop punishing the young for your lack of imagination. Until then, this isn't a youth guarantee. This is your failure guarantee. Not right, not left, just real.